Alright, so what I've been working on here is I have mixed up a thick wash of Tamiya dark mud, of all things, because I didn't want it black. And I am just putting it in all of the detail thusly. Not being real super careful. Now this is after I sprayed a coat of my Model Master Acryl semi-gloss, just to allow the stuff to flow a little bit better and to make it easier to clean. So hopefully you can see what I got going on here. Let me zoom it in a little bit, scoot that up so you can actually see. Now it looks kind of messy, but because I put that semi-gloss on here, it cleans up fairly well. Well, it cleans up really well with a dry cotton bud. And if I run anything too stubborn, I can always moisten it. And after I do that, then I end up with something like that. And like that. Plus it adds, you know, and I'm leaving a little bit. I could totally clean it off 100% with a moistened Q-tip / cotton bud. I could do that, but and I may do it on some spots, but any place where it's like especially stained, I guess, I'll do it there. But I want to have a little bit, and I'll demonstrate it after I get after all this is dry and ready to actually do. I'll demonstrate how I wipe it off with the direction of airflow. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to do the whole lower portion of this and then start wiping it off. All right, let's talk a little bit about where I am here. So I have since did some panel line washes, and I used Abteilung dark mud. I think I showed that in the previous little segment there, and used that all over, and it worked pretty good. And it worked really well on this color here, the lighter gray, but on the darker gray I got a lot of, like, I don't know if the darker gray was much flatter, and it created kind of some, it almost like bled into the paint. So even though I put my semi-gloss coat on there, it was really difficult to wipe off. So, but it turned out okay. Now looking in my screen here, it looks really, really stark, the color variations, but in real life it's a lot more subdued, and it looks much better in real life. And I'm not just saying that as a cop-out. I mean, I should have done a better job, but it turned out a lot better. So what I did is using these Ushi Van der Rosten splatter templates, or whatever you want to call it. I got a lighter color and did some of that on there, and then I went over it again with this color, this dark gray, I can't remember which one it is, to kind of blend it in a little bit. And I think I may do a little bit more, but we'll see. But with that, really all I have left to do is weather the inside of the nozzle, which I'll do with a wash, because in looking at photos, it's mostly white except in the grooves and the, you know, where the parts come together. So I got to do that, and then I have to glue on the canopy and the rear part of the canopy here, the stationary part, and then I have to glue all the ordnance into place, and then I can install this. That's just a press fit, as well as the horizontal stabilizers, or whatever you call them, on these crazy jets. But before I do that, I'm going to glue on the landing gear doors, front and back. Once I do that, then I'm going to move up to the cockpit here and get the instrument panel glued in there, and the ejection seat in the back part of the canopy. And then from there, I'll flip it over and work on the ordnance, get that all glued into place, and then I can put the remaining parts on there, and I should be pretty much done. So I'll come back in a few minutes. All right, jumping ahead here, it is pretty much done. Got all of the ordnance put on, got the tail put on, canopy, and all that stuff. So real quick, like, my thoughts on the kit. This was a really good kit. I don't do modern aircraft very often at all. As a matter of fact, the only other kind of modern aircraft I've done is an Edward MiG-21 PFM, and that's a bit before this in you know, time frame of usage. But this one went together really good. Typical Tamiya kit, everything fit together properly, no surprises, nothing weird going on. The only thing, which it's, you know, common thing, is there was a seam down the middle of the canopy, but that was very easy to fix. I discussed that in an earlier video. But yeah, it just went together really well. I really enjoyed building this. You know, modern aircraft, pretty cool. But the markings, they ended up turning out really well. I had a problem with a few of the decals, but fortunately it was only very small, pretty much not noticeable decals. But the big ones, these really awesome looking tiger meat decals, they all worked without a problem. So I'm really stoked that it all worked out in the end. But anyway, it was a really fun kit to build. Stuff like this, you know, will spark my interest in the future in building more modern aircraft. So yeah, stay tuned for that kind of stuff. And as a final word, I want to thank Eric Davenport again for sending me this, as well as some other kits, but for sending this kit in the batch he sent me. Eric, if you're watching this, I really appreciate it again. It was a really fun kit to build. And again, I'm really thankful you sent it to me. So I'm going to put some stills up here at the end so you can check it out a little closer, a little more paused than me flipping it around. But as always, thanks for watching Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and I will see you all later.